The Kew Gardens drama. Is that Q or Q?
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
The bees! The bees! We have nothing to deduce. Nothing has happened. We have nothing to deduce. Well, this is taking a while. Why is this taking so long? Jeez. What? Maybe this place is
well,
big.
Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Some plants were stolen. Oh, we came in. Alright. Oh, okay. You could have just done
Don't
this.
touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
Plants.
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Miss White! Like from Clue?
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes. just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
I know what a reserve is. Jeez, you think I'm not smart? I'm Sherlock freaking Holmes, man.
Do not touch.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
They yoinked them. They yoinked the plants.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Indeed. So somebody had a heart attack too, huh? I assume we should consider that suspicious.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Blood. This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound.
Is it because he had a heart attack there? I mean, seems reasonable. I mean, I have never had a heart attack, and hopefully I never do, but... Is there more to look at? Oh, there is more to look at.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconsson was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
A stone ship?
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned. According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
all these plants? I think we found all the clues. At least here. Wait, footprints? Where were those?
These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet.
I don't remember those.
The traces are thinner in some places. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all. No, it wasn't like that.
Oh no, it's one of these. I hate these. They're introducing us to a new mechanic.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked? Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
What do we got here? Wait, where are we? Oh, okay. Wait, where are we?
These flower pots are beautiful. They are in... The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Is that suspicious? Oh, we're back outside.
There is a smell of burning.
Tastes like burning.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The remains of a picture frame. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. A broom handle was half burned. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Why are they burning plants? This is very suspicious. This is very, very suspicious. I mean, I was suspicious before, but this just, like, makes me even more suspicious, you know? Hey, it's a map.
Colonial collection. Water lily greenhouse. Dry tropics. Ventilation system. Seed house. Nursery. Farmhouse. Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory. Reserve.
You are here.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Object of interest. Okay. It's an object of interest.
Locked.
Locked. I hate it when things are locked.
Locked.
Locked on that side, too. Move, dude.
Locked.
Also locked. Okay. Well, we found the ventilation system. It seems like somebody put something in the ventilation system which may have caused a heart attack. So... I feel like that may be what happened.
Locked.
That's also locked. Wait, who's this guy? Dang it, stop. Dude, walk in the right direction. Oh, this is the guy I talked to at the beginning. Inexpensive glasses. Dirty collar. Gardener's hands. Yeah.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
I already suspect him.
Would you unlock the doors for us?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there? I am sorry, but those rooms are private.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I don't know, maybe. Want to steal some seeds, man.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then.
I did? I don't remember doing that, but okay. I mean...
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
No, we're gonna cut him open.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. No redness, stings, or bruises. Nothing suspicious here. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Ew, it's internal organs. Gross.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Oh.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
We yoinked out his heart.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
So it probably wasn't a heart attack?
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
Murder most floral.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
Yeah.
More than a little.
Murder. Murder. Oh no. We know he was likely trapped in... He was trapped in a... That's why he barged, pushed open the door. I find it odd that it wasn't... He didn't ask any more questions about his death. Like, oh yeah, it was a heart attack. Back we go. But it sounds like that one guy is an ex-hat. So I think somebody's burning evidence. I think evidence is being burned. Let's talk to him.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Explain.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart
He liked
Set.
to eat cake?
He was famous for it. That and...
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
No, we didn't tell him there was murder most foul. Alright. I'm good with that.
Locked.
I have to find that one person to unlock the stuff. He said he was in the place. Where was the place that he was at?
Locked.
Where is it at? The reserve, right there. He was there. So the reserve's there. Wait, I'm confused. I'm here. So if we turn around, it's there. So he's over here. Okay. So he's in this area. He's in here. Oh, he must be.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, you can. After I look over here. And look at that. Okay, there's nothing there. Oh. Now we can actually look at him. I mean, I guess he could have killed his own father. Doesn't seem like it, though, based on that. Consumed by grief. Seems highly unlikely. Clean hands.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
He seems like a
Well,
jerk.
I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
We already know
Oh, he
that.
hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Need some keys. Where's Mrs. White? Oh, she was working in the seed area. Okay. She's probably in the seed house. Go to the seed house. Like, we're taking the tour now. Wow. It's so nice. Ooh, look at all the plants. Here is where the place is that was cleared out. The stolen plant.
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
Dry tropics.
Oh, cacti.
Dry tropics.
Let's look around and see if there's anything in here. I don't think there is, but you know, we can look. There's fertilizer. There's that fire, which we already looked at. Now, we haven't played the previous games. They're all kind of separate entities. I mean...
Look, Holmes. This charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Like, the stories don't really relate to each other.
Open.
It was Miss White in the conservatory with the plant.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Indeed.
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Let's sum her up. She's got ears. She's got ears. Confirmed. She's definitely has ears. Nothing about her fate. Oh, wait. She has expensive perfume. Her clothes look kind of expensive, too, actually. Maybe not, though. Poor family, but yet expensive perfume. Oh, that seems suspicious. What's this other one? Oh, I see what it is. I know what it is.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Alright, now we have a lot of stuff.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
I mean, Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office.
Plant. Take that, you window. Now you're open. Oh, now you're closed. The seeds. There's seeds. What do we need to do now? Find the stolen plants. Find the plant that we used to kill. Inspect the staff buildings. Okay. So we need to look at more buildings. Feel like we've looked in this building enough.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Which they could open the window on. So it's clear to me. Well, maybe I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, a picture is being painted. Who started the fire? I mean, I guess we don't know. I guess it's not necessarily who started the fire. It's who threw the gas mask in the fire. There, now we can yoink some plants.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
For our bees. No, we're not gonna do that. Well, that's sad. I really was hoping to yoink some plants. What's this? What's this thing that's covered up? Huh?
What should we do next, Holmes?
You should get out of my way, Watson. I'm trying to go that way. Watson, you're in my way. Oh, Watson, you're in my freaking way. Go do stuff that doesn't involve being in my way. What's this? Examine.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Well, clearly that couldn't have been.
I am curious if the marble that we found will
It's
fit this
raining
place.
tacos.
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Interesting. Watson, get out of my... Watson, get out of my way! Oh my god!
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery. A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Posters.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
I think it was him. I mean, maybe not.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Well, he was certainly educated. He was certainly educated. We can say that about him. Ooh.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
What are you
A
saying?
phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Evidence required. Oh, so we might find another one. Audio logs, nice.
Chemicals, a sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Well, we gotta get Toby. It's Toby time. Well, not quite yet. We gotta...
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Botany? That means study of plants.
Locked.
Oh, that's the
Holmes,
door.
Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Well, it's time to do what we do best. Well, there's like, this is more advanced. What's with the white things? Oh, we can move it. Oh. I see. Whoops. Is it wrong? It seems right to me. Oh, the thing that's wrong is this one. Oh man, now we have to turn the whole thing. Right. Bam, did it. Nailed it.
Open. Martin Hamish's locker. A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens obliged me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political. So I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Garden lies in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting. Father and I, Kew Gardens.
Oh, I meant to use that. Okay.
Albert's locker.
He's got a hat.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
That despite your excellent results with our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you to the Royal Navy School. Your father has expressed an intention to entrust you with the directorship of the gardens. It is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept. Oh, so basically he would have gotten in if it weren't for his meddling father. All right. Well, that's interesting.
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Miss White's locker. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
Chemistry.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
I am writing this letter with a reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money?
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
I know, Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you in this present time. Please let me reassure you that I would not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. Okay, so Albert was helping her.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
We are surprised to receive your letter. How can you think to ask for us for money after all these years that have passed since you left and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at university, but you choose to do so now. We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done, and none of us ever compromised their reputation. As it appears, you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Whew. That's rough. Rough. All right, do we have any new things we can, like... None of that does anything for us. All right. Well. Were you watching, Holmes? Were you watching? Were you like making sure like we didn't get caught? I hope so. I didn't tell you to. Okay, I think all of these lockers have been examined. Hey, Gregory, how is it going? Your girlfriend's mad at you? For watching this amazing game? I think we're gonna have to find the combination of this one.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish. Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a variety of new barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the Garaf, will hold a press conference next Monday morning about this very subject. All right. A letter. My dearest Margaret, following our latest conversation, I believe it will be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Okay.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
Quite. Yes, quite interesting indeed. Yes. Well, we don't. How would we get the combination of this safe? Wait, was there anything on the photo that would, like...
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
I don't think we... How would we open this safe?
What should we do next, Holmes?
We should open this safe. That's what we should do next. But I don't know how. I'm doing good, Gregory. Oh, wait. Oh, this isn't a very good save. Okay. I think I got it. This is a horrible save. This is like the worst safe design ever. Okay. Maybe the thing was why break open the safe when basically all you have to do is solve a puzzle. I thought we were gonna have to find out the combination, but no, we just have to do that. Please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and save the most extraordinary, precious, and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purposes. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889? So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. See you in Boodles on Tuesday, as always. Boodles. Boodles. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Their so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate. It was reported in the press as the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Okay, I think we should investigate that. We gotta get Toby, though. I just remembered. Another letter.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Rental of the suite of rooms, an educational scholarship, credits opened at Hamilton, House Taylor's in a... Okay. 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 So she was indebted to him. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Hey, Finkelroy. Alright, I need to take a break. I need to find Claire. I don't know where she is. Let's see if we can talk to him first before we take a break. See if we can ask him any additional information.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to...
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire.
You liar.
He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
You liar.
Evidently.
You're such a liar.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I very much suspect him. Let's do this. Hamish had motive. He believed that he and his father's lives had been ruined by Dunn. It's true. It's true. Miss White and Mr. Dunn had a recent disagreement. He was planning to release Miss White from her position. So that's a motive as well. I don't think that's a big motive, though. Like, that doesn't feel like a huge motive there. Alright, I think that's all we got here. Now we gotta go to Toby and, have him sniff some things out. Oh, we did go through all the offices. Okay. Alright, so we gotta go in, Toby. We gotta find the plant that was used to kill, find the stolen plants. Alright, so we actually completed examine all of the offices. I didn't see that actually come up as something we had completed.